think we're says I'm live. I just like to check. What if I'm talking to myself for like 2 hours? That'd be embarrassing. I mean, I am, but you know what I mean. Like, no one's listening to me talk to myself, I guess. Hello, welcome to Movie Crap Live. It is another Thursday show. I'm still waiting to see if it's live. I don't know. No, oh, looks like it is now. Anyway, I hope you all are having a good Thursday, a good week before the Thursday before the Oscars, everyone's favorite holiday. All right. Anyway, I want to say hello. Sorry for everyone. I want to say hello to. I'll do it in order of people who showed up. I want to say hello to Cornbread Alterago Bro. What Cornbread Alterago go Altera whatever. Cornbread Austin, William Ellman, Purple Goop, Mike Silva, Zodberg, Nathaniel Foy, K Master, Sin Ram, Super Adusky, Pup, everybody is here. I thought I saw a K Master. Yes, I think I got everyone. If I did not, you can call me out on that. However, hello, welcome to Movie Crap Live. We are doing the show, the pre-Oscar show. We don't know what's gonna happen. Hello, John John Barton. We don't know. But, oh, I left the extra apostrophe at the end. I'll take care of that later. We'll just leave it. Fuck it. We'll do it live. Yeah. Anyway, Classic Cameron's here. I have kind of a couple new things that Alter Ego Grow. Thank you. Alter Ego Bro. Okay. Alter Ego Bro. I like the delay is interesting. Sometimes you hadn't noticed. I thought I sent out the skeet and the tweet. All right, before I do have two new things, I guess. So I'll just reveal those. Hold on, let me scroll over here and let me go up, and I got a haircut, trim the beard. I decided it was getting a bit much, and I needed to trim it down for summer. I also, if you hadn't noticed, if you watch this channel regularly, I don't really get my hair cut a lot. So when someone is like, I'm going to cut it maybe a little short, I'm like, I mean, it's probably for the best. It's going to be a while. I don't know. I think the last time was October, November. Not sure. But it's been a little bit. Let's just say. I should look up when it was. But I'm happy with how it'll look. And we have I got these lights from Home Depot, which were thankfully on sale, and they're in much better condition than the last ones. So lights are back. So if you do a super chat, if we get to the 20, it'll be this. And I'm gonna keep Godzilla. I think the Godzilla roar stays for 40, but yeah, you see it does the fade. I know how to do this now a little better. I messed around with it. Thank you, William Ellman. Thank you, everyone. I didn't do it really for the Oscars. It was just like I was waiting for after the last snowstorm. I was like, I think we're done. Now. I don't think I need this big beard. I was kind of keeping around for the snow a little bit. But yes. Thank you for the compliments. Yes. So actually, you probably see the old beard in a lot of videos. But I know the last one filmed was Duck. Which is the cartoon. That was literally the last. I filmed that the night before. There's other things I need to film, and I would have liked to have had it, but I need to deal with that. I don't know when. But anyway, yes, welcome to Movie Crap Live again. Sorry, not much has happened this past week, but it was my daughter's birthday, and we got if you're on the Discord, you know. We got Mario Galaxy. I was talking about Mario Galaxy, and I got her Mario Galaxy, and that is a very fun game to watch people play. It's like we were just watching her play the game, but I need to play it. I haven't played it yet, but I watched her play it, and it's really, really amazing, to be honest with you, just to watch to play. So, and I thought she had a good birthday. But anyway, hello Avery is cool. Like, oh, how many Oscars will Kevin James? First off, thank you for the first super chat of the night. Bloxy, you're usually the first one. Let me. Oh. Okay, all right. We got two in a row there. Let me do Bloxy first. Thank you all very much for. Hold on. For why am I doing? I'll just sorry. Okay, for that. Okay, this is Monster. I thought it was like so. I was just at the store, and if you go to the grocery store with kids, I don't know if you knew this. It's basically just me saying no to a million things, and I just grabbed this because I thought it was blue. I thought it was blueberry, but it's just low carb, so I actually don't know. I'm gonna assume it's blueberry because when I asked and Cornbread gave an answer, I was like, I picked it up. I was like, I actually don't know what this tastes like. So I'm glad we didn't really do this one and no one answered because I don't know what this is. So we're gonna find out. We're gonna how many. I think Kevin James. I wouldn't mind if he presented. I think he could. Anyway. Cheers to you, Bloxy. William almost said, just saw Undertone. I would recommend it to Jim because it was a bit like Skinamarink for normies. I feel like that's a bit of an insult, but no, it's not. No, I would. I'm really excited for Undertone. I have a throwback related to it tomorrow. Barbarian sound system. I used to do more sound mixing, so I'm very into sound horror movies like Blowout and stuff like that. So I'm very excited for Undertone. Thank you for that, William. Cheers to you. Um, it is blue. It's definitely blue. I don't know what this flavor is. Anyway, Cornbread got it because he guessed, and I have no clue what it is. But yeah, I'm. Hey, Gary, you're in New York, man. I have kind of a busy weekend, but how long are you in New York? Let me know. Hit me up. We can maybe you'll see Undertone with me or something. DM me on whatever the thing is you DM me before. You're not getting your Dark City. Is that why you're here? Fuck, I gotta lock my door. I gotta lock my door. That motherfucker is gonna take back his Dark City DVD. You're not getting it back, Gary. You're not getting it back. In fact, I'm actually gonna go to LA and steal more of your Dark City DVDs and then come back to you. Oh wait, his Dark City DVDs are not protected. He's out of the city. Guys, if anyone is in LA, in New York, Gary lives. Just any Alex Proyas DVD he has. The Garage Rock movie Alex Proyas says that nobody remembers, all that. Austin with a super chat says, is it weird that Mario Galaxy movie has both as a Lush and an Old Spice sponsorship? They really should corner the market on soap and shampoo products. So I bought deodorant and then I found out about the Mario thing and I told Sophie, I was like, man, I really should have bought that. And she said, that was dumb. No, I want to see Undertone. Sorry, I was being silly, but it sounds really cool. Okay, no, sorry, I was being sorry. I took it that. Wow, Gary knew what I was talking about. True Alex Proyas fanboy in the chat, Gary. Good for you. Good for you. Cheers to you, Austin. I forget if I did or not, but cheers to you. He probably has the Alex Proyas cut of Crow City of Angels. No one knows it exists except true fans. He recut it. He was drunk one night. That would actually be funny if the original director re-edited the sequel to the movie he made but didn't direct. I'll be into that. Like John Carpenter's edit of Halloween 2. It would probably be no Halloween 2 because he didn't like it. Anyway, oh yeah, no, I know he's gone to the AI thing. I actually forgot I had this brother-in-law in town. A couple of people like smiling friends. I should have worn this. But anyway. All right, what else? Oh, I watched Hard Boiled and I remembered, man, John Woo is awesome. I haven't looked this up. Is Hard Boiled, did that influence Infernal Affairs and like the Raid 2 and the kind of cop thing? Because it's before those movies, and by proxy, The Departed and stuff. It's before Infernal Affairs. So I was like, is that the influence on that? I don't know. I need to look at, but I was like, I wouldn't mind doing the John Woo, Chow Yun Fat action movie, like do a John Woo series, because I was so into those in the 90s, but it was also every action movie was so into those in the 90s. So it like made, like, you'd see a trailer. It used to actually, me and that guy Evan, who's in Stars Talking with me, and he's shown up a few times, we would literally see action trailer and be like, man, we should watch we should watch we should watch a John Woo movie. It would just like, oh man, John Woo's so good, because it would just be like you're inundated with his influence. And then we were very disappointed by Mission Possible 2. Yeah, no, I've never seen A Hospital as Empty as Halloween 2. I don't think that was Broken Arrow was him. Broken Arrow is not very John Woo ish. I think the Van Damme movie he did might be. Anyway, at some point I would like to do the John Woo, because when I was first into film, he was such a thing, and I was rewatching them a lot and usually getting rejected from watching a subtitled movie at the middle school sleepover. And the only other thing I want to talk about is the Grillers were on SNL, and I thought it was a little echoey. I liked Clint Eastwood. I thought the song they picked, I was like, I would have gone with the Sparks song or something, but it was cool. I mean, Black Thought's in the building normally, so why not? But it was just kind of like a weird choice. But I like that Clint Eastwood was on there. Oh, Ryan, you missed everything. But it was yeah. Anyway, Broken Arrow famously, I don't know if people know this trivia, but that is where Ain't It Cool News got its name from, because John Travolta says, "Ain't it cool?" That's not a joke. That's like 100%. Look it up. Ain't It Cool, man? Ain't It Cool News? There was a really good podcast on Ain't It Cool News, and I wouldn't mind re-listening to it. But what a weird site. I don't know. Anyway, sorry, I'm not going to talk about. We're not doing Ain't It Cool News tonight. But we got Drew McWeeny, and he is a great critic, so I'll say that. Sinram knew it. If anyone would, you know what, Sinram, I would expect. That was good trivia back then. All right. Before I get into the Patreon Discord, let me just say this show is going to work differently from most shows. What is your regular show will happen right after the Patreon Discord part. Then after that, there will be Oscar predictions. Then the break, and then the Forevergreen, forever whatever it is, the short, and then questions. So it's sort of like probably the same amount of time, but I'm just letting you know that. Oh, hey, Dan. You know, Gary, I'll say this. Pauline Kael defended Harry Knowles. No, Harry Knowles, I don't know. I don't want to get into this. But yeah. Whatever. I have mixed feelings about him as a critic and as a person, especially when I was older. At the time, though, I will say he was much better. He sucked, and all his newer reviews were very bad and gross. But he did actually like try to promote older cinema and film history and stuff in ways I don't see a lot of people doing now. However, I don't think his reviews were that great. But I also think I don't know. I'm like, I haven't reread them. I've always thought maybe I would reread some of them, but I the Blade 2 and the fucking Jesus, what a horrible I don't know. Listen to there is a podcast, maybe I'll post it in general, and it's really hard to like, even if there were things you liked about him fondly, it's really hard after that to like not think he's, I mean, I thought he was a piece of shit, but that really like cements it. He's not Weinstein, but the fact that he had a film festival and in the middle of it everyone had to watch him open presents, and you're like not a little kid, is fucking strange to me. I just like, that should tell you everything. That the Button-Amathon, I thought it was just watching movies, and then I learned like you had to watch him in a theater open presence. Like that's the part that was like, yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know. I always would read about the festival, and they left that out. But almost everyone was like, yeah, if you actually went, it sucked, because it was like a celebration of this gross dude, and you're like, oh, I thought he would just show you the movie. I didn't realize you had to like give him a present. What a fucking loser. Anyway, all right, sorry. I'll post that podcast in the general of the Discord. All right, sorry, I've gone on way too long in this part. Mario Galaxy is great. Play it. The version for yes, I love that video. Be Kind Rewind did do a great. Jordan Sloffalo, I agree. And I need to watch I need to do fan voice at some point, Gary. You're correct. All right. Mario Galaxy is a great game for the Switch. I don't know, Switch you. All right, this and everything I do is supported by you, the fans, either through Discord, where I'll drink this low carb energy drink that I bought. And, then if we get to $20, this will flash. If we get to $40, we'll see. Well, you get this. Oh, you got the fart one first. So the next one's the better one, I guess. Anyway, and that's how that works there. But there's also the Patreon, which has all sorts of cool stuff like more power in the movie review vote. The winner's video is going to come out probably tomorrow, and commentaries and everything, and postcards and everything cool like that. And you get exclusive videos, you get exclusive throwbacks, which I think there'll be one this weekend, and all sorts of cool stuff like that. If you are a patron and financially can do so, and I really do appreciate it. It really helps me to continue to do this and make videos and everything like that. As well as yes, and you can watch my public access show. You can watch all sorts of cool stuff through that, and it helps me continue to do what I do. If you financially are not able to do those two things, then please like and subscribe to definitely like this video, definitely helps, and subscribe to this channel if you're not already. Turn on notifications if you want to get notifications. Let me just say that. But if you're like, I would like to know when each video comes out and stuff, then do that. Or if you're just watching and you don't have a login, or you're just like, I don't know if I want to subscribe, but I like watching your videos, dude, thank you very much for being here. Just watching is support for real. And thank you. And I really do appreciate it. What was I going to say? Oh, I forgot to mention Boys Go to Jupiter, Duck. What was the thing on Monday? Gary and AJ. I'm glad or AJ and George, whatever, the Pixar short. I have another Pixar short that I need to edit, but that's like the longest Pixar thing I never made into a video, so that's why that came out. All right, anyway, so the Discord, it's run wonderfully by Austin Zane Powers, Ryan Walterson, and Cornbread. They do a great job. They do movie watches about like once every 2 weeks or so. There's movie discussions, there's licensed playing card channels, there's everything like that. It's a wonderful community. I still get compliments on this awesome fan base and the Discord. It's a wonderful Discord. And Cornbread does thumbnail predictions. If you want to tell me what to talk about on movie crap, I ask earlier in the day to say, what do you want me to talk about? And all sorts of stuff like that. It's a wonderful community. Please join if you would like to. Link is in the description. There are no movie this week. Next week they'll do a movie watch. Anyway, all right, let's get into it because we do have a lot of stuff to do tonight. The first thing is probably the bigger thing. The first thing in the thumbnail, the Wall Street Journal article, kind of interviewing Pete Docter, but more just going over the thing. They watched the We Bear Bear movies. That's cool. Going over. Okay, this is the Pete Docter article that the Wall Street Journal did, which was behind a paywall, but then they, I used one of the sites to let me go past that. And it's sort of about Pixar in its current stage, as well as Pete Docter himself. I will just talk about the highlights of it because I did read it and stuff, and I did tweet something out and all that, which did okay for me, I guess. First off is let me just talk about the things, and then we'll talk about the homophobia thing, which is so wonderful. I'm so happy about that. One thing is part of the approval process now for a Pixar movie, which is, tomorrow is Friday the 13th. Thank you for reminding me, Madella Butterfly. A part of the approval process for a Pixar movie now is gauging the sequel potential, and the directors are asked part of the pitch, and if they're going to greenlight it, to come up with stories for possible follow-ups, which was not an issue before. And in fact, Pete Docter mentions that them doing all these autobiographical things do not work as well. They need to come up with, he said, less autobiographical movies and more with commercial hooks, which I guess would describe Hoppers. I have not seen that yet. But I was a little disappointed to hear that's what's going on. It honestly sounds like to me that Pete Docter is a bit of a pushover. They do mention that like he was the only one of the veteran Pixar directors who would take the job, but to my understanding, he was already being groomed for the job from Lasseter. Bad choice of words, maybe. Um, before he got canceled and stuff, they were already working on that. But I'm assuming Andrew Stanton, and I guess the other one would be Brad Bird. Is there someone else I'm forgetting there? Um, yeah, I guess those would be the only other two you would ask, or maybe Lee Ulrich. And Lee Ulrich just flat out left Pixar. Andrew Stanton's still there as a creative consultant, and Brad Bird is stuck with fucking um, uh, Lasseter. So I guess I don't know. That was an interesting thing there. Hold on, let me. Thank you for the super chat. William said, Jim, have you seen A New Leaf 1971? I talked to a film professor from LU after a screening of Shadow of a Doubt, and he and his student said it was one of the most underrated 70s movies, but I don't know, I think it kind of stinks. Hold on, let me look. Since this is a very generous super chat, I will look it up because I've seen a lot. Oh no, this is the film. This is the Elaine May, her first movie. I have not seen that. I've seen Ishtar and Mickey and Nikki, but I have not seen that one. But I've heard like people really like. I don't know. I have like mixed feelings on the Elaine May. People like her as much because sometimes I'm like, well, Ishtar's like a mixed bag, and like I don't know. I do think she's underrated and got screwed over. So I have not seen that though. I've had opportunities, have not. So cheers to you, William Owen. Thank you for your generosity. Cheers to you, man. That's an interesting one to bring up. Why with Shadow of a Doubt? Is that Shadow of a Doubt related? I mean, I haven't seen it, so why would I know? And Mandela Butterfly, cheers you. 108. That's an what's now that since he did the $1 thing, now the change also. All right, so we are past $20, so we will do this is the first of these new lights to show off in front of Reptar. Corporate, are you really doing a fan edit of Ishtar? Is that a joke or not? I'm not sure. All right. Where was I? Okay. The other things are first they announced what will be a Monsters Inc. 3. Will that be a sequel or a prequel to Monsters University? They're just like Monsters Inc. 3. Sorry, I realized I didn't put the quote in, so I'm actually just going through my Blue Sky to find this. Oh, I had a cool poster I wanted to show Sophie, and I didn't. Sorry, I'll. This is the dumbest stream thing I've ever done, but I don't care. Isn't this a cool poster though? It says 150cc for Super Mario. Anyway, I re-skeeted it, I guess. Sorry. This is what it's like if you hang out with me. Is I will just go, hey, isn't this cool though? Do you think it's Oh, I forgot to mention this. There's a high school band. Sorry, I'll talk about that later. I should have put that in there. I totally missed. How did I miss that? All right, now I swear I went through this shit. Now I'm like, wait, what happened? All right. Okay. So he said we're making talking about basically forcing the element they removed gay elements from Elio after finding some parents didn't want entertainment forcing conversations with their kids they weren't ready for. And he said we're making a movie, not hundreds of millions of dollars of therapy. My issue with that is I just think it's like, can't you just like talk to your fucking kids? Like, I don't understand why this is always such a thing here with wait, what? Sorry, I don't understand why. I just really I wanted to add something. Sorry, I don't understand why it's such a thing for people to just talk to their kids. It's really easy to talk to your kids. I have talked to my kids about, you know, gay people and stuff and explain it, and like they met gay people. I don't understand why it's such a thing. Like why that's always the thing. Like I'll have to talk to my kids. I'm like, do you not talk to your kids? Like I don't understand this methodology, and I thought it was a shitty thing. But to me, honestly, I will hold on, Super Kirby dude. I do think what I got from this article about Pete Docter is he said when he killed, there was a film called Be Fry about a platonic best friend breakup and was canceled after a screening with Iger it very much feels to me like he's the kind of guy who will just reiterate what the now I'm just insinuating because I don't know, I wasn't there, but he's just sort of taking on what um the corporate people want him to say. And because despite the fact that it sounds like he co-directed Inside Out 2 according to this article, which was their biggest hit ever. So it's like I'm surprised he's not leveraging that more. I feel like he needs a better agent or something. But to me, it's like it seems like they said that. But Elio, I did find it interesting. People were again shitting on Elio again about this. It seemed like that went away, and then it got an Oscar nomination. Now voting is closed, which also the Timmy thing won't be a the controversy people really believe it will be because of that. Let me just sorry, Super Kirby dude. Let me say cheers to you. I love the emojis. Good job. Hobbers was insane. I'm gonna see it with my kids probably in a little bit, but cheers to you. I wanted to see it with them, but it does seem like he's very much getting pushed around, which is weird because he has more best animated feature Oscars than anybody. You'd think he could he seems not he isn't confrontational, unfortunately. And it seems like they can sort of push him around, and I don't know if like he is saving the studio from just becoming a sequel mill or like becoming live action things, and that's like something he's being threatened with and stuff. I don't know what's going on, but I just find it to be a really unfortunate thing because I do think he's not a bad lead in terms of like creatively, and he's really like building up new auteurs for Pixar in ways that all these auteur studios, from Ghibli to so forth, didn't have not been able to get new auteurs, and it seems like they are, but at the same time they have to work within Disney, so it's a very weird balance. And I do think like we might look on creatively Pete Docter better, but this article did not make me feel good about him and did not make me feel good about his leadership. And the other things is they are making a musical from the director of Turning Red, and this one called Ono Ghost Market about Asian myths about a supernatural bazaars where the living and dead interact, which sounded really cool. And Gato sounds really good. I do think they have like a real future, and like getting the We Bare Bears guy to be there, like I do think there's a future there, but the fact that this is going on makes me feel really awful. And also that that's his response to what happened with Elio is just like, come on, man. Like that, I really like that really dings the movie for me that they were like, oh, we can't let Elio be gay, but it's just like, what exactly are we doing here? John Barton said, movies with Mark. I don't know this channel. Recently put. Oh wait, I do know that channel. I watched his one on Chris Gore. I think that's him. It was interesting. I don't know Chris Gore, and I was like, what is the deal with this guy? Because anyway, and I mean, I knew he wasn't great, but it didn't didn't change my opinion. Movies with Mark recently put out a video about the Minions franchise that is relevant to this. Spoiler: the lack of themes are why boomers like it. I don't disagree. Based on the people I've met who are really into Illumination, which I also think is why the first Mario movie does well, because it sort of, it's like they're very simple and very. Although I am kind of curious about that new Minions with the monsters. I'll say that. Cheers to you, John Bart. I'm like, I don't know. That's just the handling of Elio. I actually don't think Elio should be allowed to be nominated for best animated feature. I think that's kind of not cool. But it was kind of like one of the worst PR things Pete Docter's ever had in his career. I'm a little surprised that he said that shit on the record. Oh, and they kept calling them in the article. They kept calling the people who work there Pixarians, which I was like, is that where did we get? I've never heard that before. Is that a thing? But in the article, he kept like referring to them as Pixarians, and I was like, okay. But it was interesting. Like they do bring up that like Pixar, very progressive place, has gender neutral bathrooms, like lots of very good about, like, if you're very open and of, you're not going to get punished at work for your sexuality or anything like that. It's a very nice place to work, but they won't let you like put that in a movie. Like Pixar could not make a movie about what it's like to work at Pixar. Is basically what I got from that article, which I was like, that's. I think the problem with Disney owning Pixar, is the Pixarts. Okay, Ryan, Jesus, Pixarts. um, I don't know. It wasn't very. I'm curious about Hoppers, and I like what he's doing, but I'm like, the sequel thing is very disappointing. I'm not excited for Toy Story 5. I just think it's like that, but I think he's sort of looking at it as like, this is how I keep the studio going under a Disney leadership. Which frankly fucking sucks. I mean, that's just like, but they are like getting their lunch handed to them. But it's also like, when we rewatched Luca recently, I was like, man, this is like Luca and Turning Red. Like, they had some like big classics right in a row. And then it's like, once they came back to theaters, it was like Lightyear. And it's like, come on, what the fuck? I didn't see Win or Lose. I saw Gary liked Win or Lose. I didn't see Win or Lose. I would like to see, I guess my kid, I forget. I think I watched one and I didn't. Anyway, but it's a disappointing article. I recommend it if you're really into Pixar. But it's a sad read because you're like, oh, Pete Docter sucks. And it's like, but it's like, to me, it's like, if you're going to have kids and you can't talk to them, I've never understood that shit. Like, maybe, like, I don't know. I don't want to have to explain fucking Iran shit. Why are we doing that? Or like your transphobia. Like, that is things I don't love to talk about. But if they asked me, I would. But it's just like, I just think it's depressing. It's depressing that that's how people do. So I did not see Dream Production. I think my kids actually watched Dream Production. So, but yeah, I forget what Matt Braley's take on TV animation. But Gary, if you want to put it in the chat, I will respond to it. All right, the other thing. So this is one of the things I hate about movie press is they'll bring up something so many times that when it gets announced, I'm like, I thought we did this already, but apparently we didn't. It's official. KPop Demon Hunters 2 got the green light, even though we've all, I think, knew it was coming out. I'm gonna switch this to regular. Although we're really close to well, I can't do, I can't. I try. We were very close to 40, so maybe I'll just, I'll put it. Let's put it. No, don't do that. You can be light blue. No, let's be green. Green until the next one, I guess. Okay, but it was officially announced that we are for real making a new K-pop Demon Hunters. The original directors are back, which I think, like, I don't think you could make that without the original directors. And there was no date given, actually, but everyone goes 2029, which seems to be the earliest. But it could be 2030, which I'm curious if it'll be as big because, if you're a kid who's 8 or something, like my daughter's 8, it's like, by the time it comes out, that those little girls will be 14, 15. That's like a big it's a bit, I'm not asking them to make it real quick and shitty. I'm just like, I am curious what the reception will be, because that's a big change. Like, how often, like, when you were a kid, were you into, unless you're like me or something, uh doing into the same stuff between 8 and 14, 15? I think that is a big leap. So I am going to be curious how they're going to, what the reception will be, or if those kids will be into it, I'm not saying animation is for kids. I'm just saying, if you're into something when you're 8, that's a big, Anyway, William Oman said Disney likes to give annoying names to their employees, like Imagineers and cast members. You know what? You're right, and I believe we are definitely past 40. So I'll put this back on. Oh wait, we're past 40. That means. Hold on. We'll do Godzilla. All right, there we go. I hope you guys like that, right? I don't know. I'm assuming everyone does. No one said stop that shit. Anyway, cheers to you. I think I talked about the Matt Braley thing before, but I think he's right and wrong, because it was all, about the the streaming things and the ad revenue, but animation is much more popular with Gen Z and stuff, and like anime takes up a lot of um you know, a lot anime takes up a lot of views on Netflix. So I think they're probably wrong about I thought that was like very speculative, and I'm also like, kids still need to watch stuff. I really do think there's still a moving forward now in the old way, but in the old way it barely worked because they were more on demand ratings and stuff. So I'm like, I don't think it's going away the way he said. I thought that was like, I understand it's not going to be the same though. That's over. But it's still like, kids still watch that stuff. They're still going to make it. I don't think kids are going to be watching old cartoons. They're going to watch new cartoons, you know. If it's going to be as much as like it was in the 90s on Saturday morning, probably not, but there's also more independent production. It is going to be different. That era that he was a part of is definitely over though. Where were we? Okay, Rick and Morty has a season 9 somehow. I've heard people say like, I can accept how the Simpsons, and I've heard it from several different people. I can accept how the Simpsons are in season whatever they're in, but Rick and Morty's in season 9. Like, it does feel off. It is interesting how much, like, you know, I'm wearing a Smiling Friend shirt. This became the cool show, and like Rick and Morty is just like, no, I don't even hear about it anymore. That's a real show that fell off. With the pandemic. That's a pre-pandemic hit show. I did not hear as much talk about that in post the pandemic in my mind. It just didn't happen. Um, you know, anyway. So there's a new Garfield cartoon, the first one in a very long time. This is and it's going to be voiced by it's going to be voiced by Lamorne Morris, who I actually think would be a good voice role, good choice, because he will not be doing a Bill Murray impression or a Chris Pratt impression. And it sounds actually like a good idea. I mean, Paramount owns the rights, but this is the kind of thing like, I mean, it's tentatively titled Garfield, the series right now. But I do think it could be a good new take on Garfield, which is like, why have the new um uh why have a new Garfield if you're not gonna have a new take on it? I do think Paramount Nickelodeon does get cold feet. Like, they had two great Ninja Turtle cartoons and they canceled both. So I'm a little like hesitant, like, will they screw this up? But I'm optimistic, but I thought that was a cool choice. It didn't sound like the same thing that, you know, you just have a dumb celebrity attached to. Transition. So Donald Glover is Yoshi. I like Donald Glover actually a lot. I'm going to be honest with you, because he's awesome. But, and I understand it's an Illumination movie. It does feel like Mario's like its separate thing from Illumination somehow. But it is an Illumination movie, and they were announcing even more celebrities attached. I'm not sure because they do work quickly, and I do know, what was it when Al Pacino quit Despicable Me 2 like a month before they got is they got they got Benjamin Bratt there. So I was like, but I think he was cast and they just held it until the last minute to drum up more publicity. I don't understand, like, if he's just saying like, you know, it's like, oh, that's also, I just don't think like, why have a famous person do that? I just don't understand that. That feels like the voice actor from the video games could have done that. I would prefer that. I would also prefer the music from the video games as well, but it's a separate conversation. But I was like, I don't know, and I didn't want to like pick on Donald I mean, it's just like such an egregious kind of thing. It's just, and I don't understand it. It's just like very weird. I didn't like Chris Pratt as Mario. I like Charlie Day as Luigi though, but I just like find it very odd. And I actually saw people posting that when we got the first trailer of Yoshi, and I thought it was a joke, and then it went away, and I was like, oh, I guess it's like maybe people were wrong, and then it came back. So I don't know what's going on with that, but I am disappointed by, like, that seems just egregious, but it is Illumination. So I'm not surprised, but I thought he would at least have like some scribbles, but I guess it's like it's either you or it's like somebody else or something. But I would like to actually hear him do it. But I like it when celebrities do a different voice, but it's like Yoshi. I just don't. I I don't really get it, to be honest with you, and I don't love the big celebrity voice thing. It's kind of stupid. Like what is the real point? Like I don't think any kid is like, oh my god, Anna Taylor Joy is Peach. Like whereas like I think like they have some good casts in there, like Jack Black as Bowser, and Keegan Michael Key as Toad. I think are really good. But him, it's like why, like how come it can't be? Can I say this though? Why can Sonic? Sorry, I will get to these super chats and thank you all. Why can Sonic at like Tails can be a voice actor and they have celebrities, like mix them up, like nobody's that upset that Tails, like kids don't care, like I just don't. There's like only a few people that are famous to the kids and one of them's Jack Black, like you already you're fine, like I just don't. I find it very bizarre because also the reason they did celebrity voice casting originally was because Robin Williams could sell a movie or Mike Myers could sell a movie. They didn't just like put a million different people in. And then other idiots who weren't Jeffrey Katzenberg went, what if we just put a million people in it? But that's like not why he did it originally. And then he screwed it up too. So just like everyone went off base on the reason they did it in the first place. Anyway, John Barton said, weird for any cartoon show now to have 9 seasons. Yes, I do think that's looked at as an old school way, but I think also Dan Harmon likes that money. So cheers to you, man. And then have you had an amazing celebrity encounter? Mine was Sam Raimi. Glad you can meet your heroes. I remember, I think, when you did that. I've had a couple actually. I would just say I met Thurston Moore and Kim Gordon, and that was cool. And Thurston Moore is very tall. He like taller than me, and I'm a tall person, and that made me actually intimidated. So anyway, cheers to you. All right. Next up in my kind of animation thing here. Timothy Chalamet is Donkey Kong. Where are we going? Oh, so this I put it in the thumbnail because I thought it was actually at first I thought it was dumb, and then I thought about it and I actually thought it's actually kind of cool. A producer of The Simpsons said, or the showrunner currently of The Simpsons said, that the series will never have a proper series finale. His quote is, if the show ever did end, there's no finale. It would just be a regular episode that has the family in it. Probably a little Easter egg here and there. But no, I'm not. But no, I'm going to miss this place. I think I actually think this is really smart, to be honest with you. Because, oh, is YouTube being weird? Cool. Thanks a lot, YouTube. I actually, oh, hello. I actually think they I think the thing with it, honestly, is like that is how I said it before, that is like how most people die. They don't know it's coming, it happens, you have a day and then it's over. And I actually thought that's kind of cool, and especially for a show that's been running as long, and like at this point, like how could you even come up with a finale? Why not just I wouldn't mind if it's just a very regular episode and then it just ends. I think it'll I will get into the well. Okay, let me do William Allen's thing, and then I'll talk about the thing he said. I never thought I would say this, but I'm beginning to develop Benny Safdie fatigue. I don't need him in my Mario movies. LOL. No, I agree with you, man. And cheers to you. I agree with you because let me just say this. It really I think the Safdies and even Timmy Chalamet did so much press and overexposed themselves. And I think the problem with celebrity and internet culture is there's this an idea that you should always be you should always be posting and all this stuff. But there's a difference between me and the Safdie brothers. And I think they should know that like you need to go away at certain points and like, not have people think about you. And I agree, like they've kind of overdone it. And I don't really want Benny Safdie being in the Mario movies. It's weird. Anyway, all right, we'll put this in. Let's do. I'm kind of into the green tonight. I don't know. Maybe we'll say. But anyway, so one interesting thing when I was looking up the Stewie show, which is the next thing I'm going to talk about, is that apparently The Simpsons, Family Guy, I think American Dad, and Bob's Burgers did this like massive deal, all of them separately or together, like they're the cast of Friends or something, and they all are basically signed up on Fox till 2029. So we know that The Simpsons, Bob's Burgers, Family Guy, all that are running till 2029, and Stewie is sort of why it's starting in 2027, so it can be a part of that deal, basically. That was what it was read. So the thing I think here is that I do think like there's a possibility the Simpsons kind of end in the 2030s or 2029, and maybe Fox is like, let's just see what TV even is in 2029, which is a I don't know either. But it is interesting that they sign them all up to those things, and animation domination sounds like it's going to continue for a little bit. But it is like such a massive deal, and like trying to keep these things around. I am curious, like at that point, do they then go, what is staying around? Does Seth MacFarlane just want to go to Universal because that's pretty much seems like what he wants to do with Ted, because they gave him all that money to make the Ted show and the Ted cartoon, which is, I'm like, I thought the point of the Ted things is that it wasn't a cartoon, but whatever. Actually, you know what? I just came up. What would be a good Ted cartoon for real though? Would be the Ted cartoon based on the initial fame that the Ted teddy bear got in the 80s, and make a Ted 80s cartoon that existed, like they made like the Gary Coleman show of Ted. Don't do a one that continues. That's what I would want, but whatever. Sorry. Um, he was one of, I was thinking about him in Magic Mike too. Thank you for that. All right, sorry, Nathaniel Fogel. I'll just do yours now. In all fairness, I'd say I would put Donald Glover in the category of celebs that are also great voice talents, like Mark Hamill and Lindsey Brown. I just think it's like him doing Yoshi is kind of dumb. But I get it. Like if it was me, I would do Yoshi too, so my kids would think I'm cool. So I get it. Cheers to you, Nathaniel Fogel. Oh, Nathaniel Fogel, did you see? I haven't found the Weaver Bears toys yet, but Weaver Bears toys showed up in Hoppers apparently in the background. Look it up. Anyway, I do think these deals, they will probably have to look at these shows, and these shows will be like, because they got 4-season pickups, which is insane. But I do think like Bob's Burgers, Family Guy, and The Simpsons all make them enough money that it makes enough sense to do that. But anyway, so we learned that there's going to be a Stewie spinoff. It got a 2-season pickup, which I think is interesting. I guess they're just doing that, I guess. We are actually past another $20 multiple, so I will put that back on. I apologize. It took me a minute to realize that. I hate when it's like allow ads, like, and then it shows you how to do it. I'm like, fuck off. Like, don't insult my intelligence. So basically, it's a Stewie spinoff. Of course, Seth MacFarlane will probably just write one episode and then show up to voice it. It's about it will follow Stewie in a preschool and explore time and space travel. Apparently got kicked out of his other preschool, and then he's going to a lesser preschool, and he's going to go on this stuff. I do think American Dad is a part of the what was called their 4x4 mega deal that Family Guy, American Dad, Simpsons, and Bob's Burgers all signed for 4 seasons. Sorry. It is all of them. But I think this is a bullshit thing. I get it, Seth MacFarlane. Oh, it did? Well, it wasn't part of the 4th season. It was a separate deal, but I forgot because it was not part of that deal officially, to be clear. I think this is such a lame idea. I just don't like, why have a Stewie already has plot lines in the show? Like, aren't you going to overexpose Stewie that way? Like, if it was like Stewie's show, but it's for kids, which doesn't sound like a good idea. I think this is a bad idea. I just don't like, if Family Guy was over and they're like, but now it's a Stewie spinoff, I'd like maybe get it, but like, it's like the same, like, what is he gonna not be in Family Guy as much? I don't get, like, if it was a special or something, or the backdoor pilot of it was really good, but it just feels like a bullshit thing to me. I don't know. Anyway, also, okay, so over the weekend, I noticed there were a ton of clips from the TED show, which look very good. I don't have Peacock, nor do I want it. I looked at their pricing schedule and I said no, basically. But they were everywhere, and I was like, look, is this organic or did they like pay? Like, it just like seemed very sus that suddenly. Anyway, the AI Clinton thing I thought was kind of bullshit because like it didn't make me think he was Clinton more. I guess like Seth MacFarlane does the Clinton voice, but like, come on, Phil Hartman never really looked that much like Clinton, but I never questioned it. Like, just put on some makeup or get a Clinton impersonator. I just like it didn't make me. I never really respect the AI thing, and it didn't make me think of it. So anyway, I thought, but Ted seems cool. Apparently, that's the end of it because it just mentions like how does he become Mark Wahlberg and stuff. He suddenly becomes really racist against Asian people. No, but that is what Mark Wahlberg's like a really hateful dude. I'm always surprised Seth MacFarlane and him get along. Although it is interesting, they both claim to have almost gotten on a plane in 9/11. So that's, I guess they talk about that. I don't know. Although it's interesting, I mentioned this and people got upset at me. I did read that in the actual 9/11 report, Seth MacFarlane apparently exaggerated that story. He had canceled the flight the night before. He had not missed it. He himself called. They like because they investigated like everything. And I love that the government looked into Seth MacFarlane's 9/11 story. Found out it wasn't. It was true he was going to be, but he canceled it like the night before. Not he didn't oversleep or something. He's exaggerated that. I don't know why he does it, but I mean, it's not like that guy, that actor who said he wasn't in 9/11 kind of thing. He just changed the timeline of it, but they looked into it apparently. I don't know about Mark Wahlberg. Sorry, I don't know why. I remember that. All right, maybe Stewie messed up the timeline. This is how we'll correct it. I mean, it might have been 2 a.m. I did like, though, actually, when I posted that, this is the funny thing because I'm old and stuff. The Ted love is genuine, same as... No, I think people like it. It's just like, it seemed very... During its first weekend was the part that I found very odd. But anyway, I haven't watched it. Sorry, Ted Show. Cheers to you. I forgot what I was talking about. Seth MacFarlane, good for you. I didn't see what William Ullman redacted. Oh, well. Sorry to embarrass you. King Conan. Oh no, I remember what it is. Sorry, when I talked about this Seth MacFarlane thing, people go, "Oh, the League." Sorry, the League. Yes, he was the guy from the League. Is that a lot of people were like, "Well, he could have canceled it on his phone," and I was like, "Guys, it was 2001. You could not cancel a flight from your phone. You mean like call? Because you couldn't even do that good." Anyway, it's interesting. Sometimes when I talk to someone who's younger, I'm like, well, they could have done that on their phone. I'm like, no, it was 98. What are you talking about? Like, they just don't. I don't know. It's my only, like, the Gen Z doesn't know thing is like, sometimes they think like smartphones were started before they actually did. So King Conan. This was a surprise because I've been hearing about a million different King Conan projects over the years. It is actually, anytime I check in with what's that channel, Midnight's Edge, to see like what thumbnail do they have of someone crying. They always have one about this, so this must have been a big day for these guys. But apparently, Christopher McQuarrie is teaming up with Arnold Schwarzenegger to finally make King Conan. And I am curious about this. I think McQuarrie is smart enough to do this. And I do think like I'm surprised. My dad is a big Conan guy, and I know a lot of the stories, and I always did feel like they could have made more of them. I'm surprised they didn't. You could just like have it be like a Bond thing and stuff like that. And how the Momoa thing got so screwed up, I have no clue. Like that seems like such an easy. He looks like a Frank Frazetta picture. Like how did they fuck that up exactly? I don't understand it. But Yeah, I think it could be a cool thing with him and McQuarrie. He's a good director. I think it's actually a cool thing for him to do rather than just like everyone, including myself, would be like, "Are you going to do Bond?" Because that seems like you'd be the best person for Bond. And but I'm also like, I think I think it would be a good thing to change it up because those last two Mission Impossibles were not like anybody's favorite. But he did have a good run, like those from. I know he was very involved in Ghost Protocol and Rogue Nation and Fallout. I thought that those three were like kind of the best Mission Impossible. So I think like if he can get back to that, and he can make a good action movie. In other kind of more industry news, I guess, AnnaPurna, which was the indie kind of studio, which was actually run by Megan Ellison, the first Ellison to get a lot of support from Hollywood, really, is back. A lot of people are saying it's because one, the Ellisons just want to own fucking everything, but also because I think she's like, hey, I was in this first. Apparently, she does have the same staff this whole time, and now they've just got a big investment from their dad, who's evil. But there is no deal with Paramount. It seems like a separate thing. There's rumors that he might just like her brother will buy her into Warner Brothers and Paramount and stuff like that. Those are just rumors. No one involved has said that. Um, but anyway, apparently Annapurna is coming back. I have no clue what they're coming back with, but they are coming back. So I people have called her the good Ellison. Maybe she is. Maybe she is. Probably not. But let's assume that. In the probably a thing someone cares about, the Ocean's 11 prequel, which there's been a lot of doubt about because they're making an Ocean's 11 sequel with Margot Robbie, lost Lee Isaac Chung this past week. Apparently, this was kind of a sudden thing because a lot of reporters were talking about how they were working on scoops about that movie and were told, don't do anything just yet. I'm not sure what's happening. And then it ended. Um, I if I was friends with Lee Isaac Chung, I really like Minari. Um, do not do a studio film, man. Come on. Like, don't do it. Make your Minari follow up. Don't make your Twisters follow up. I like Twisters. I had a good time in 40X, but don't become we don't need you to like money's cool and stuff, but like make a small movie. That's what we really want, you know? You know, like we need sorry, I keep dropping stuff. We need more people like that. And two, DC news, because I guess I do that. This well, first off, there are rumors Daniel Craig could be the dad in Batman 2. In terms of status, yes. In terms of actual ability, I think he's not old enough, but maybe he'll put on makeup. I'm sure he'd be good in it, but he also is expensive as shit. So I don't know about that, but we'll see. The other one is I know there's a story by John Campea, and I'm not a big John Campea guy. Let me just or really like him at all. He started this, and every other movie site's bring it up. And I wanted to mention the whole thing that is James Gunn going to leave DC to possibly work at Marvel because he doesn't like the Ellisons and stuff like that. I don't think James Gunn has said anything. It seems like his social media is more just like, oh, hey, it's somebody's birthday and they were in Superman and stuff. I'm assuming he has a contract and all that. There are also rumors he could then go work at Marvel, which I'm like, I guess, but I also, and I know Marvel was like priming him to become a big person at Marvel before everything happened, and then that changed everything. I don't think he's gonna leave, but he also hasn't said anything. I think it's like the same thing with like the Batman, Matt Reeves, James Gunn rumors. They're like it's geek uh nerd geek whatever comic book movie news people trying to make a new hot video or something, but not really but like they're making shit up basically. They're like being hyperbole. They're saying it in the right ethical way, I guess, but it's just like making a story to make a story. I sort of don't think he will leave. I don't know if Feige has a line of succession or something. I sort of see what they're saying, and I thought the same thing. Like, is James Gunn gonna stick around? But I also get maybe if the Ellisons just let him keep doing what he's doing, maybe he's like, yeah, whatever. I can just put that shit in my movies, and they'll just let me do it while they make their military action films, which I kind of sort of think is the most likely scenario. Maybe they'll like be like, we will do Sergeant Rock now, which has been speculated because of this. So I don't know, but we don't really know. But if you're seeing that, it's just like, to me, it's like someone making a story to make a story. Yes, we all thought the same thing, but I just think it's kind of dumb. And also, like, there's a huge possibility because Ellison just showed up to the Warner Brothers lot recently. He hasn't even met with him. Like, what if he's like, dude, I don't care, just do what you want. Like, so we don't know, and like, to me, it's like, wait till his contract's over, see what he's doing. If I agree, yes, he's probably more in line for the Marvel job if Feige bounces than people think. I'm not saying I do agree with that, but I think contract wise, there's nothing to insinuate that at this time. So anyway, um this one got undercovered in my mind. There's apparently a Ghostbusters, a different Ghostbusters animated thing called Ecto. It's Ghostbusters movies from the ghost perspective. It is different from the other animated thing they have. I think that actually sounds cool because one of the things I liked about um what was it called? Frozen Empire maybe? Was the idea that a ghost became friends with a Ghostbuster. I thought was really a cool idea. So Ghostbusters, but it's the Soderbergh's presence is actually kind of cool. We'll see if it gets anywhere. I noticed this was only talked about in a few places, but that's I would much rather get animated Ghostbusters stuff. I honestly do agree with the people who say most of the Ghostbusters love is for the animated show and not as much the movies as people believe. Um, so if that is the case, I think a rise of good Sony animated Ghostbusters movies I think would be a cool idea. We learned that the Lord of the Rings Hunt for Gollum is probably a trilogy, and that Kate Winslet is attached as a co-lead or something. We don't know as what. This should not be more than one movie. I hate that they do this to the Lord of the Rings movies. Please stop. Like, just let it be one movie. Like, Jesus, they like. I like Tolkien stuff, like the movie wise and stuff, and I put up with the War of the whatever. But like, can we just like not? Just make one. Like, come on. Um, I'm gonna talk about this because people brought it up, but here's my thing. Oh wait, actually, I have good news, guys. The Robin Hood live action remake is canceled. I have no clue how that was going to be a thing, but we did it. We did it. I guess I don't know. I'm like, I don't understand what you're gonna do with that. So there's a Bon Jovi biopic. Almost everyone online was like, Bon Jovi has a really boring story, and I agree. Actually, I've seen their behind the music, and it's like, they were struggling, they got famous. John Bon Jovi was on the Star Wars Christmas album. Nothing else is really that interesting. But a year or so ago, I went down this internet rabbit hole because I was tired and there wasn't anything going on about how Richie Sambora quit Bon Jovi. That is the only interesting story Bon Jovi has biographically. Just make a movie about that. And he left to take care of his wife and his daughter because his wife was having mental health issues. He left for a good reason, and he realized the band was becoming a like a basically an oldies band, and he was like, I don't want to do that. I liked writing songs, and I don't want to be like seeing the band change from a band to a business and stuff like that. Like, that is a good movie. Make that movie. Do not show me. I don't want to see them playing at the Silver Pony on Asbury Park. But I would like seriously like make the like look into the Richie Sambora thing. It is the only interesting thing about that fucking band. I find it very fascinating. And like Bon Jovi will not accept it really. And like they're like, I don't know why he doesn't want to, but he's basically like he becomes a employee of the band he started, which is bizarre. Like, I think that would be a good movie actually. I don't think they'll make it. So if someone else wants to make about an aging 80s band that turns from, because they sold a lot of records, so they can still draw, I'm sure. All right. I guess we have like a half hour till I should get to the. Where are we? Okay, we're in good shape. Sorry. Drink, I guess. Okay. All right. Universal Pictures announced, in lieu of nothing coming out in the Odyssey, that they will give movies a minimum of 5 weeks in theaters. It will increase to 7 weekends in 2027. However, this is the part that I found funny. I am assuming what they were doing is like Mario's coming out, Odyssey's coming out. you get 5 weekends before it goes to streaming, guaranteed, based on box office stuff. I think they'll still keep them in theaters though. They did not include focus features, which is hilarious because a studio like Focus Features usually needs time to build. So that's like the dumbest thing I was like, why would you do it that way? I don't understand. What were you like? What? Like the studio that puts out the limited release stuff that takes a few weekends to build? Yeah, no. Cut that weekend minimum down. Good move, Universe. Like when it said we won't include the one that like probably needs it. Like, okay. All right, guys. I almost forgot this until I scrolled through my Blue Sky, which I thought I did, but I guess I didn't. I'm gonna say this. There was a high school band who made a YouTube channel called JG Quintel. I thought it was his actual channel. It has a picture of him. Good job to, I forget, they're like called Trash Boat or something. A plus. Go through my Blue Sky and find it amazing high school band nonsense. I was in a high school band called In Sync, called IN, and then just sing like you're in a sync. And I wanted to like get marquees and stuff, and a few bookers laughed at us, but nobody like this. But that is high school band shenanigans. I love that one because only dorks like me would care, but they're clearly dorks if you're naming your doing a JG Quinto. Good for you. I thought it was awesome. We're gonna do a quick trailer. Only 3 trailers, I think. One is Mile End Kicks. This is about Montreal in the 2000s and this girl who's a journalist is sleeping with the man. So that looks fun. I never went. I've been to Montreal. It's a nice city. I'm curious about that scene and stuff. Isn't that where Arcade Fire and stuff came from? So I'm not sure if it's about a particular band and stuff, but it looked like a good movie. The lead woman looked like she was good in it and stuff. The trailer for Obsession, which is the one where the guy wants this girl, but he makes a wish that she would love him, and she becomes like obsessed with him. It looks like actually a really kind of cool like morality kind of horror movie. I'm down. And we got the trailer for Malcolm in the Middle, Life's Still Unfair. Basically, we find out Malcolm, or Cody Banks, has told his wife and daughter they didn't have a family, and they're embarrassed to find that out and all this stuff. Seems like it could be fun. I am a little like surprised. Man, remember when everyone thought Bryan Cranston was going to be in all this stuff, and then it's like he's just in Malcolm in the Middle thing. I don't know. It could be good. I haven't watched the Malcolm in the Middle stuff in a while, but it reminded me I might want to rewatch some of the old ones at least. I think I watched one of the final ones when they were like sleeping on a billboard or something. Anyway. All right, let's talk about, we're going to do box office, and then we're going to do Oscar predictions. I know the Oscars has their own site, but I really just want to go to Wikipedia. Anytime they're like, we made this fancy site, I'm like, shut the fuck up. I just want to go to Wikipedia. Leave me alone. All right. The box office this weekend. We had a pretty good box office. Hoppers, which opened at $45 million, which is the best original opening that Pixar had since Coco, or actually a little bit more than Onward, which is the movie that opened the weekend before the Titanic, or before the pandemic, sorry, before Titanic, which a lot of people noted it's not a great stat because people were nervous to go in theaters. I did see it the Monday after that weekend. So I got to see at Court Street, the last movie I saw at Court Street. It is a good number and it worked out for them. Congrats to them. But yeah, the Onward thing should be mentioned. It is the second best opening in the year after Scream 7. But yeah, I mean, good for Hoppers and stuff. Hello, Rocket Duck. How's it going? And the Crop Show. As well as what else happened? Scream 7 fell 73%, which does not bode well for it. Made about $93 million. I think it might be the highest grossing 2026 movie right now. I don't think anything is really beaten that. Unless I'm forgetting something. Most people, I chose to talk about Hoppers and its success. I saw a lot of people just going the Bride bomb because it cost so much. I don't know if I'll get to see the Bride because I was feeling kind of sore the night I thought about seeing it. I didn't want to and stuff. Um, but I'm like, I just don't. I don't know. It looked like a fun, weird movie and an uneven mess and stuff. So I'm not like super shocked. But I wish people were a little more chiller about it. But I haven't seen it. But I did find it weird that it's like, oh, Pixar's back. Nah, fuck that. Maggie Gyllenhaal's movie flops. And you're like, I don't know. I don't really get it. Uh, I kind of, I haven't seen it, but it smelled of people being a little too weird about it. In other good news, Goat is doing really good. It did fall by 46%, which isn't amazing, but it is still in fourth place. It's probably going to fall off a rock as soon as Mario hits. But Wuthering Heights and Crime 101 all fell similarly. However, Send Help is in its 6th week in the top 10. It's made about $62 million. It's really holding on there. And Demon Slayer actually took Zootopia 2 out of the top 10. It was in the top 10 for 14 weeks, making $427 million. But Demon Slayer had a re-release and got to be number 10. So, oh, Courtney, I'm glad you have discount movie theaters. Congratulations. I wish I had one of those. But yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Not really. Okay. I do kind of have to pee, so I'm going to take a real quick. Sorry, that was gross. I will take a really short break, and then we'll do all the Oscar stuff, including some announcements. It'll be very quick, so I'm not even gonna put up a thing. I'm just gonna mute the mic, be right back, and then we'll do all the Oscar stuff. Okay, quick break. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, all right. Let's get into if anyone has any other super chats. I'm still going. We can still get to another flashy and all that. But if you would like to, we still have I guess an hour left or something. Anyway, all right. A few Oscar things. One, apparently the Conan monologue is very good. He was like testing it around comedy clubs and stuff. That's what people say. Matt Berry has been announced as the Oscar announcer, which I think is a really great choice. I'm really happy about that. That's like the best Oscar news I've heard since Conan's hosting. So I'm very excited for that part. And then I guess I'll talk about the Timothy Chalamet ballet opera thing. The thing about it is I know where that guy went to high school. I know where that location is. Not creepy. I mean, he went to the what's called the Fame School. Um, it's a pretty well known school. It's right near Lincoln Center and where opera and ballet is, so it's like that motherfucker knows ballet and opera, and he knows better than to say that. I thought it was just an ignorant thing, but I also think he's overexposed. So I heard the Jesse Buckley cat thing. I'm not really happy about that. Oh, I forgot Nick Offerman was last year. I like Matt Berry more than Nick Offerman. All right, so these are my Oscar predictions. Which, regardless, I want if Sinram's still there and doing timestamps, please just make this Oscar predictions. You do not have to do every category. That'll take you way too long. Don't do that. Please don't do. I know it's not because I just don't want you. You do enough, Sinram. Anyway, all right, we'll do the first two animated categories first, because I know you guys care about animation stuff. By the way, I will try to review a non-animated movie next week. I'm sorry, I've been very animation centric lately. Um. Uh. Okay, so first one, best animated feature. The nominees where are we? It's Zootopia 2. I'm just doing this on my sorry. Arco, Elio, Zootopia 2, Little Amelie, or the character of Rain, which I still haven't seen how reflection up there. Um and K-pop Demon Hunters. I am going to say uh K-pop Demon Hunters. I think it's definitely them. I don't see. I really hope it's not Ilio. I think possibly Zootopia 2. I think the two art house things didn't really connect. I think it's just going to be K-pop Demon Hunters. So good for them. Second win for Sony, I think, right? Anyway, it is a win for Sony. William Wellman, thank you for the super chat. Said this is the first year in a while I haven't put money on the Oscars because it seems like a bit of a toss up. You are correct. The only lock I would commonly say is possible is Ludwig Garrison. I don't think it's just him, but he is definitely a lock. You are right. Cheers to you, William Wellman. I will say a lot of times my Oscar predictions are correct, but this is a much more of a toss up here. You are correct on that, sir. Um, uh, Best animated short. I'm not going to comment on any other short category because I don't know anything. But since I've seen four of them, I feel at least semi qualified. We're between Butterfly, Forevergreen, which we'll talk about after the other break, The Girl Who Cried Pearls, which I didn't see, Retirement Plan, and The Three Sisters. Almost everything I hear about this movie, this category, is Retirement Plan. I think Retirement Plan will win Best Animated Short. If it was up to me, though, it would be Butterfly. But I think it'll be Retirement, which is still a solid movie. No offense to that, you know. All right, I'm gonna do the two supporting categories first, and then we'll just go into everything else because that's usually what happens at the Oscars. So let's like maintain. Sorry, it was freezing. I guess because I have the Oscar things, but I wanted to talk about all the. You know what? How about all? Let me bring up. Is it still freezing? Hmm. Sorry about that. Let me hold on. Let me bring up. Okay, I have it on my phone. I'll read it on my phone. Maybe that'll help. All right. I mean, that's the best I can do. Best supporting actress. This is a real toss up one. We're between Elle Fanning in Sentimental Value, Igna Asar Illness in Sentimental Value, Amy Madigan in Weapons, Wenu Masku in Sinners, and Tiana Taylor in One Battle After Another. As I see it, although Elle Fanning, I think is very, it's good for me. Um, or sorry, it's good for me. I was sorry if it's freezing. But this is because even on my stuff, it's not. Can you still hear me? Yeah. Thanks a lot. All I did was open a different web page. I feel like there's nothing else open. No, there's not a Paramount movie nominated. I mean, I guess they own Warner Brothers, so technically, here I'm just gonna close this other thing. Let's hope it Um, we'll come back. Jesus, what's going on here? Oh, Conan was on Jimmy Kimmel. Good for him. I couldn't. Oh, I'd watch that. Honestly, I'd watch that. Did you just tell me? Oh, okay. All right. My favorite thing about YouTube stuff is every now and then I'll go, by the way, you're live on your channel. You know this, right? And I was like, yes, I'm there. What? Sometimes they're like, you should do super chats during your live streams. I'm like, thanks, YouTube. You're a pal. Yeah, it's really freezing. All right, I'm just gonna continue because you can hear me. Oh well. All right, so best supporting actress, I list them off. I honestly think it'll be Amy Madigan. I know Tiana Taylor is putting up a big thing, but I think like this is sort of Amy Madigan's only time. She's older. They usually like to do that for supporting. I do think Tiana Taylor has a bit of a chance there. But I do think like there, if you start seeing Sinners winning in these specific categories, I would just expect a sweep, but I don't actually think that'll happen because the Academy be a little racist. Anyway, best supporting actor, we're between Benicio del Toro, Jacob Elordi, and Frankenstein. Benicio del Toro is One Battle After Another, Del Rey Lindo in Sinners, Sean Penn in One Battle After Another, and Stellan Skarsgård in Sentimental Value. I am going with Stellan Skarsgård. I do think it could be Jacob Elordi is sort of the Elle Fanning of this category, where I think it's just happy for him he's nominated. He was rather good. He's good for him. Um, and I think Delroy Lindo has a real chance. I think it's really between Stellan Skarsgård and Delroy Lindo. But I also think the problem is like I've heard people on podcasts make cases for Sean Penn and Benicio and all this stuff. But I think it'll be Stellan Skarsgård. He's been doing it for a while. I think there is a bit of um I think there is a bit of I don't know. I like there's the international vote um is very pro sentimental value, and I think all the nominations got it'll work out more for that's an Oscar-y kind of movie. So but I do think like Delroy Lindo has a chance. And I would like Delroy Lindo to win, honestly, but I think it'll be Stellan Skarsgård. Best visual effects. Where were we on here? Sorry. Best. Where are we? Wow, down here. Okay, best visual effects. We're between Avatar, Fire and Ash, F1, Jurassic World Rebirth, The Lost Bus, and Sinners. I really just think it'll be Avatar, Fire and Ash. I think this is like sort of Avatars to lose. I can sort of see if people go crazy on Sinners, or F1, but I think like Avatar is Avatar. It's such a big thing. Why not? I did not see sentimental value. Every time I tried to see it, the showtimes never worked out for me, so I didn't. I regret that. Best editing are between F1, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sentimental Value, and Sinners. I kind of think this is going to go to One Battle After Another because it's. I think you're going to see sort of a bit of a split because they're both Warner movies. They're both I just think I think it's gonna be One Battle After Another this time. But I don't think we're gonna see I think Sinners will win the most, but it won't be as crazy there. But I kind of think One Battle After Another. Because there is kind of like more locations and more of a flow thing and like there's a lot more interesting editing stuff there and it's kind of it's more of an epic I guess than Sinners and so forth. There's really a lot of these are between One Battle After Another and Sinners. Best costume design were between Avatar, Fire and Ash, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, and Sinners. I think this is just going to go to Frankenstein because, like, look at Mia Goth in a dress. Her dresses were insane. Like, how can you like win anything like Frankenstein? Frankenstein's only going to win these tech categories. Best makeup. This is between Frankenstein, Kokio, I think, Sinners, The Smash Machine, and The Ugly Stepsister. I actually think Frankenstein will also win this because of Jacob Elordi, predominantly. Best cinematography. This is probably one of the more interesting ones because where are you, best cinematography? I was just like, man, Wikipedia is the best. And then I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Where's that thing? Best cinematography were between Frankenstein, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sinners, and Train Dreams. I, as a Train Dreams fan, I guess, I like Train Dreams. Kind of want it to be Train Dreams, but I'm going to go. I almost want to say Sinners because if Sinners wins, it's the first time a woman has won Best Cinematography. I'm pretty sure. Like, it's not, no woman has won before, correct? I think, I'm pretty sure there's never been became the first woman prior to that. Yeah, it's only women have been nominated, but that didn't happen until recently. It was Rachel Morrison. I really I am surprised though. Sinners did not bring up if Coogler wins, he's the first African or black director, African American director, but black director to ever win Best Director. Although films they've directed won Best Picture. Thank you, Daniel Rodriguez. Um, so I'm surprised that wasn't brought up with that cinematography and director, and you could like break records. Although it's the 98th Academy Awards. Like you could have maybe got around to that earlier, but whatever. I sort of think they'll go with Train Dreams for that reason because it's sort of the only one Train Dreams would win. And I don't think there was enough knowledge about that would win the first time. Um, but yeah. The one with I'm sorry, Blacksea, that your theater go. That's been happening a lot to theaters, unfortunately. Best production design, which is between Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, and Sinners. I'm gonna go with Frankenstein. I think again it'll just win those because of Guillermo. I think I may be being a bit pro Frankenstein. I think I could see one of those going to Sinners, but I think like look at those sets, like look at the it's just like how can you I think it's kind of obvious there. Best casting is one of the weirdest ones because the first one everyone's go, oh, this would obviously have won best casting or something. I find that all super weird and speculative, and like no one can go, I don't think we actually know what's going to happen. But I still think between the two, it's Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, and Sinners. I think it'll be Sinners. I think Sinners has got that in the bag. So Sinners is going to win that. Best sound. Now, best sound. I know this is. I hope this isn't too boring. Best sound were between F1, Frankenstein, One Battle After Another, Sinners, and Surat. Most people are being saying F1. I sort of actually think Sinners, because music is such a big part of that, could win, and sometimes they do that. But I also think, much like with the Train Dreams thing, this is probably the only thing F1 could win. And they did, I think they gave it to Top Gun Maverick before. I think they'll do a similar thing like that. Okay, best song. This is between Dear Me from a Diane Warren documentary, Golden from K-Pop Demon Hunters, I Lied to You from Sinners, Sweet Dreams of Joy from Viva Verde, and Train Dreams from Train Dreams, which gave Nick Cave a nomination. I think it'll just be Golden. I think it's really between Golden and I Lied to You. I don't think I Lied to You will beat Golden. I think K-Pop Demon Hunters will go home with 2 Oscars. Cornbread, F1 is loud. That means it's good. That's kind of how the Oscars think, though. All right. Other ones. Best music or score. It's between Begonia, Frankenstein, Hamnet, One Battle After Another, Sinners. As William Owen said earlier, it's going to be Sinners. Ludwig Gordon. I think it's such a big part of that movie. I think they'll just split the music categories. K-pop gets best song. Sinners gets best score. Both the big music movies of the year get Oscars. It makes a lot of sense. Best documentary. I didn't see any of these, but people say The Perfect Neighbor, so I'll just say that. I'm not going to list them off because it's like I didn't do that shit. All right, best international feature. I didn't see any of these, but it was an accident, The Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, Surat, and the voice of Hin Rajab. I think it's really between The Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, but like I said before, Sentimental Value seems to have a lot more support behind it, so I think it will win Best International Feature. Now let's talk about the screenplay ones, and then we're almost done. The screenplay ones, Best Adapted, were between Begonia, Frankenstein, Hamnet, One Battle After Another, and Train Dream. Man, Frankenstein did get a lot, actually. I don't think we realized that. I'm going to be honest. I think the screenplay categories are going to be split between the 2 big directors whose 2 movies are fighting to get the most, the 2 Warner Brothers movies, basically. I think Adapted will go to Paul Thomas Anderson, which will be his first Oscar. I do think the thing that'll make director kind of interesting is both directors will finally have Oscars, but through screenplay. So that sort of makes the director thing in a weird place there. But yes, I think adapted will be Paul Thomas Anderson, One Battle After Another. Best writing original screenplay is between Blue Moon, It Was Just an Accident, Marty Supreme, Cinema Volume, and Sinners. I think everybody just knows Ryan Coogler is going to win for Sinners. So I'm sure his speech will be great. Now, the last four. Best Actress. This is the only real acting category that's a lock, but I'll list everyone off in reverse order, kind of. Emma Stone in Begonia, Renee Renziv for Sentimental Value, Kate Hudson for Song Sung Blue, good for her with that one. Rose Byrne, If I Had Legs I'd Kick You, and Jessie Buckley in Hamnet. This is Jessie Buckley's to lose. I don't see anybody winning this. Other than her, good for her. She's going to win Best Actress. Best Actor. This is an interesting one. We have Timothée Chalamet, Marty Supreme, Leonardo DiCaprio, One Battle After Another, Ethan Hawke, Blue Moon, Michael B. Jordan, Sinners, and Wagner Moura, The Secret Agent. I will get to you, William Elman, right after this one. I think this is not Timmy's time, the way everyone seems to think it is. I think, and it's not DiCaprio's. DiCaprio and Ethan Hawke, just like whatever. I think it's really between three people, but it's really between two people. Wagner Moura has some support, but I think this is Michael B. Jordan's time. One, he wasn't on the press tour a lot. I think the Tourette's thing did help him, to be totally honest, if he wins. Things that controversies at the BAFTAs is why Russell Crowe lost that Oscar to Denzel Washington. He was winning everything, and then he was a little bitch about his poem and beat up somebody, and he lost. Like, that's really what happened. I think a similar thing will happen with Michael B. I think Michael B. is going to win Best Actor. I think there's enough support behind Sinners. He was the big star behind it. He played two roles. Some have said three because he plays a vampire version. Also, he wasn't overdoing it press-wise. He wasn't being smarmy about it. He was being very thankful. I agree SAG doesn't mean as much usually, but I think like when people are saying, they're like, he's also like a big star. He's become a director. Just get it out of the way, guys. Timmy's gonna do another Oscar movie every year for the next like 10 years until he finally sells out and becomes the Johnny Depp, Timothée Chalamet grossness. But you have a lot of chances. Just, you can do it later. They don't like to give people that young Best Actor anyway. Michael B's older and has been in the industry and everybody likes him. I think it's Michael B. Jordan. Here, William Allman said, Sentimental Value seemed like an autobiographical film about Stellan Skarsgård, a man desperately trying to justify entrenched nepotism so the Academy can relate to it. Jesus. You do not like that movie. I heard it was good, but I will say, first off, we're past the thing, I'll do this now. I just heard it was good. I don't know anything really about it. Cheers to you. Although, I like Del Fanning in Predator Badlands. Cheers to you, man, and thank you for your generosity. And we get another Godzilla. You guys like... Please someone tell me if they don't like Godzilla. How about that? I'm going to do Godzilla there. There we go. No one in my apartment has questioned why they hear Godzilla noises at midnight. Nobody... You can stay there, Godzilla. Would be interesting if it... Man, that was a harsh... sentimental value, I'll say. All right, so we're down to Best Director and Best Picture. So, Best Director is actually, I think, one of the more interesting ones because you have one guy, a major auteur, that being Mr. Paul Thomas Anderson. And then you have not really a newcomer, but a guy who's actually made people money. Thank you. All right, if he likes it. Which is Ryan Coogler. But you have other people in this category as well. I'll just list them all off. Chloe Zhao in Hamnet, Josh Safdie and Marty Supreme, Paul Thomas Anderson, One Battle After Another, Joachim Trier, Sentimental Value, and Ryan Coogler, Sinners. Okay, so I think Best Director and Best Film Picture, there's a real idea that they could split. However, I think the thing is, though, is that one, it's pretty clear what Paul Thomas Anderson is a great director. Is this Paul Thomas Anderson's best movie? And people are like, maybe that's why he'll win. It's not really his best movie. I'm like, yeah, okay. But I kind of think, and I know I'm very pro Sinners. You'll see when I will make a top 10 list. But I think Ryan Coogler is going to win Best Director. I think he's been most positioning himself. He's done press in a nice way. Um, he, I don't care. He didn't really rip off from Dusk Till Dawn. He used an element and messed with it. I think he's a good face for Hollywood as a director, just his quality work and stuff. And Paul Thomas Anderson will still get his Oscar. I think it'll be Ryan Coogler for Best Director. And I think that would be the big deal they want. I don't think they'll go cinematography. I think Train Dreams will win that. But I think they will go director and finally do that. So yeah, that's my prediction. I think I understand the split idea because that's happened a lot recently. Best Picture. This is the last one, guys. Begonia, F1, Frankenstein, Hamnet. Spielberg's nominated, by the way, for that. And Sam Mendes. Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, Sinners, and Train Dreams. I'll be 100% honest here. I don't see a world where a weird ass Thomas Pynchon movie directed by Paul Thomas Anderson wins Best Picture. I like that movie a lot. I do think what's the front runners are movies that usually they wouldn't win. But I'll be really honest with you. I really think it'll be more of a Sinners night than anything. I think we'll see the top three go to Sinners. I do think One Battle After Another has a chance to take both those things I said. And let me just say this. I am often right about my Oscar predictions. I won when I lived in the dorms, I won both years I was there. So I've always been very confident because of that thing I can still claim. But I'll be honest with you. If I'm wrong on literally everything, I will be happy that I'm wrong. I like when I'm wrong. It is boring to be right at the Oscars. I do think there'll be some surprises, which everyone, but I really think it's between One Battle and Sinners. But I think come on, it's like Sinners. Director, I can sort of see it, but we'll see. We'll see. All right. I sounded like a cat is stuck in a room. I'm gonna open a door. We're gonna take a break and actually put the image up, and then we'll talk about was it Forevergreen? Forevergreen. And then that'll be close to the end of the show, I guess. Right? Yeah. All right. Let me thank you all. I'm surprised, we're doing good, right? What are you doing? Okay, what? Okay, sorry. I talk to computers, which is not so it's like, come on, baby, you want to work with me? Man, if Elio Zootopia 2 though. Actually, Zootopia 2, I wouldn't mind that winning because I think that movie kind of is very successful, but I never hear people talk about it. I thought it was a better thing. So anyway, I mean, we're still gonna have Forever Green and the question. So I think we'll still get to 12:30. But anyway, I will be right back. Thank you for being here. Let me get a cut out and it sounds like deal with a few things and then we'll start the rest of the show. Thank you all very much, by the way. Okay, I'm back. Should I play? Let me play this song again. I'm back. Hello. I saved Nico. She is rubbing against my leg right now because she's very happy. I think she fell asleep singing with the kid and then woke up and was like, oh fuck, I gotta get out of here. Now she's like, thank you for saving me. Which happens. Sometimes they'll just be in there all night. Alright. So basically, I think... What are you doing? Just like attacking me. These kittens are funny. Wait, what won last year? Wasn't it Flo? Flo won last year. Which, you know what? I'll give him that was a cool answer. And Honora. I still like Honora. I don't know why people are so weird about that movie. It is, man, the amount of YouTubers are like, I think because there's an article that said like, how much the studio spent on getting Honora Best Picture. And they go, yeah, well, if movies didn't buy their way in, I'm like, bro, every movie fucking does that. Every movie. Like, I don't understand. When people, I love, every now and then someone go, well, if they didn't buy their fucking movie, I'm like, they all spend a lot of money on ads. I don't know if she'll do it. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. I want to say hi, Nico. Yeah, she's like, what the hell? All right. Having two little girl cats is interesting. Interesting, I'll say that. They're funny. All right. Seen Firefly, Mysterious Firefly announcement 3. Oh, I didn't know. I saw Fire. I was not as into Firefly, but I think the problem. I'll say this about Firefly. I think I responded to something about this. Cheers to you. Um, I am. When my friends got into Firefly, thank you for the super chat, Georges. Um, I like I watched Western. I've seen Westerns, and it like didn't play the same for me. I semi think maybe that show plays better if you don't know Westerns much, but I never got as into it. So I don't know. I have kind of wanted to rewatch Buffy because I sometimes put stuff on when I'm like falling asleep or like finish, doing the descriptions and stuff for the videos. Like I wouldn't mind rewatching Buffy. So maybe if I'm okay with Buffy, maybe I'll. Cause, man, I watched a lot of Buffy back in the day. We didn't know. We didn't know. All right. We didn't know much. What is going on? Okay. Anyway. Yeah. Send a show if you like to do a super chat. If I didn't say that, please do so. Because then you only have 15, 20 minutes to do so if you want to. All right. Is there anything else I was gonna say? Oh, I'm gonna keep doing the cartoons until they run out. I think. If you didn't notice, I kind of like doing that. It's kind of been a cool series. I'm gonna be disappointed when it's over. I kind of like doing animated shorts. It's kind of nice. Um, yeah, I'm sure it's an awkward watch, and season one is kind of a mess. I remember it doesn't really get. Well, I don't know. I really haven't watched it in a very long time. No, I need to rewatch watch more Sean Baker. There's a lot of things I need to watch. Let's just say it that way. All right, let's talk about this. Is the fourth and I'm assuming last animated short I will get to review. Although I'm open to doing the girl with the if I find the Pearl Cry Lady one, I'll do that too. All right. So today we're going to talk about Forevergreen. This is the fourth best animated short that I'm. This is the fourth best animated short nominee that I'm talking about for this year's Oscars. It is about a little bear. It's done who hangs out with the tree. Basically, it's done in this kind of CG style that looks like maybe it's woodcut. Don't go in the sink. Come on. It looks like it's wood carved or something like that, but it is done in CG. It is about a bear and a tree who have a friendship. And the bear is living in the tree, but then the bear finds potato chips. And as someone who clearly, if you look at me, has definitely had potato chips in his life, I know you've thought it the whole time. You're like, that motherfucker's eating some potato chips. I know you think it anytime you watch this channel. You're like, that bitch. He's had some potato chips, but um, he has some potato chips and decides to leave the tree finally because the tree has provided him with seeds to eat and stuff like that. But then he goes leaves, and then basically when he leaves, he finds a bunch of trash. It all lights on fire, and then all this stuff. So look, you know, I'm pro the environment and stuff. I'm not uh a shitty person and stuff. I'm gonna be honest, this was pretty pandering. And I'm very surprised this got nominated. I kind of don't like it. The animation is interesting, but I gotta say, there's a lot of issues with it that just don't work. I know the directors are really into Christianity. In fact, that they bring it up in any interview I saw. Nathan Eaglehorn and Jeremy Spears. Um, but I'll say that okay, like hanging out in the tree is cool, but he never you never see this bear leave the tree. And then as soon as he does, literally everything catches on fire and there's trash everywhere. Like what is that? And I never really understood it has a clear isolationist bent to it, which is odd. I don't really like that perspective at all. In fact, to be honest with you, when I started, I was like, oh, maybe I'll let my kids watch this. This looks cute. And then when all that shit went down, I was like, I don't want to watch let my kids watch this. To be honest, I was kind of pissed off at the end. I was like, so Snow Bear didn't get nominated, but this fucking shit did. It just the difference between this and Snow Bear is Snow Bear looks like a really interesting Disney short from right after the Renaissance, and this looks like some crap they put on Disney Plus now. This is not. I really found it pandering. I did not like its isolationist tone. I thought the animation style was alright. And the thing is that I was thinking about this too. This is the one that used computers the most. And it's the one who has the environmental message. This is potentially the least environmental of the four that I've actually watched in terms of production. I'm sure they all use computers, but they all had at least a hand drawn element to it. This is the most technology based of the four, and it just I just I don't know. This one was very kind of I don't get what they're doing with this. I really don't want it to win. I'm fine with being, having this environmental message, and I do think it looks like it's for kids, but isolationist stuff it's just is very weird, and it plays off that whole hometown oh, we live on the farm, but you city folk or something mess with the trash and stuff. I really did not like what was going on with this. So I do think some of its morals are in the right place, and the character design looks cute, but overall I think it definitely leans into a really kind of creepiness in terms of don't leave your small town or you'll go look for trash and then everything will burn to the ground, and also your friends will too who ask you not to leave, I guess, and don't eat potato chips maybe. I don't, what is going on with this? I was kind of disappointed. I did hold this till the end. I thought this was going to be better. uh it was not. I did find it disappointing. This is the only one I'm bringing up Snow Bear with, by the way, because it's has a bear in it, and I was like, yeah, I think Snow Bear, the message in that is a lot more clear. And if your message and your tone, think about what you're saying with your story, and I think these guys maybe didn't. And I just don't think it was a good really short. I think the animation is fine, they're technically very good, but I don't think they thought about fully what they're saying as storytellers and what they're saying with this isolationist message. I think they're thinking oh, this was what happens, you don't respect the environment. But why is he in a tree the whole time? What's with that? It's just very weird. But I did find it very pandering and off-putting, and I didn't want to show it to my kids. um I just found it to be I don't know. I just didn't find it to be very good. So I kind of hope the Academy has better taste than this in the future. And I hope these directors understand what they're saying morally throughout the entire story. Just because you have an environmental message doesn't mean you can get away with all the other nonsense you put in here. And I felt like the isolationist part of it really um, bugged me, and just like it just didn't play the way it really should have. And I think you had a lot of promise with your design and stuff like that, and the seeds thing. And like you could have said, like, maybe like, it's bad to go in that direction and trash, but there's a bigger world out there through the environment. And it's just like the isolationist part just really messed with it for me. And to be honest, like, it's a really cute looking film, and the fact that I'm just like, I don't want to show this to my kids is not really, not that everything should, but it's just like the fact that I had such a hard turn on it really just made me kind of, I was a little like not happy with overall what it was trying to do. I'm okay with its basic environmental message, but everything else with it, like, it just played a lot kind of uglier in terms of soul and morals wise than I think it tries to pretend it is or isn't. It just doesn't, just didn't make me feel ultimately really that great. All right. Jordan Salaflo. I might, this might make into Jordan Salaflo with a good ending said environmental. Okay, Jordan Salaflo. This is a great comment. Said environmentalism is much more powerful when it supports a community coming together. Here, here. There you go. Exactly. It's about a community coming together, not hiding in your tree and eating seeds and being protected from everyone else because you don't want to know about the trash on the other side of the mountain. Uh, William on with the super chat said, "This sounds like some Steve Cuts BS." Yeah, it does. It was just, I was surprised. I was, uh, I like this, man. This is A plus chat right here. Here's to you. Oh yeah, it does end in a Bible quote. Interesting. All right. Yeah. Yeah, was that like to get the Trumpies in or something? Anyway. All right. Let's do questions. Austin asked me a question. It's very long, but I'll do that one last. Um Hold on. Oh, I should do. Do we have ones up there? No. Everyone does tomorrow. That when I do the first trip, but that's fine. All right. Let me wait. Where are we? What questions below? Questions below. Um. Yeah, I remember I saw the Bible code. I thought, maybe they just like reading the Bible, and then I read the cartoon brew thing, and they're like, "Well, first off, we want to thank Jesus Christ." I'm like, "Ah, Jesus Christ." All right. Let's. Oh, Cinram's interesting. Cinram said, "I saw a notice that Elle Fanning won a Best Actress prize at the Saturn Awards for Predator Badlands." Hey, she was really good in that, so I'm okay with that. So, out of curiosity, I checked who the other nominees were. Wicked, Weapons, Avatar, Begonia, Fantastic Four, and Superman were all represented in this category. But going back a few years, I saw that Frances McDormand was nominated for 3 Billboards. What? And Emma Thompson was nominated for Saving Mr. Banks. In what world are these remotely genres? I don't know. I mean, I'm guessing because 3 Billboards, I can't explain. That movie just sounds very cringy to me. I forget what I said about it, but it's just like anytime I see a clip somewhere, I'm like, ugh. I don't want to figure out how. I don't want to revisit that. Emma Thompson, I guess, because Saving Mr. Banks was entirely fictitious and bullshit. But it's about Walt Disney, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I hate. Man, you know what though? Those award shows should exist though for Elle Fanning to win for Predator Badlands, and that's used to what they all would do, and now they don't. They're all like trying to be Oscar precursors. It really sucks. Anyway, Nathaniel Fogel, what's an Oscar prediction you're glad you got right? Um, Usually if I do those Oscar things, I was always really good with best sound. I could use, or sound editing and stuff. That used to be my like um my win always was the sound categories. I think Roger Deakins finally winning. I always wanted him to win for Blade Runner 2049, 20 whatever it was. I always loved. I'm not a big Blade Runner 2049 guy, but I like Roger Deakins. I'm happy with Spider Verse one. I was happy. I think those are the only ones that pop to mind right now. So Marcel Torres. I never get to see you on the show unless you're someone else in the chat. But anyway, but I always like Marcel Torres is always in these. What would watching last year's Ballerina and Dario Argento's opera change Tommy Cham's mind? Oh, Timothy Chalamet. Ballerina. Okay, I see what you did there. Possibly. Sorry, that took me a minute. Possibly he could change his mind. That's interesting. Yeah, you didn't see Ballerina. That's it'd be funny if he said that on the red carpet. That would be funny. Um, where are we? Oh, Austin. This is a long one. So, oh, Embla T, that's you. Okay, I thought so. I'm never sure because people got different Patreon names. It's like hard to. It's hard for me to. Anyway, it's also at the end of the show. I'm like, woo. I got up at 5:30, so usually on these shows I'm up at 5:30 and then I'm doing this till 12:30. So, anyway, and if anyone has any, yeah, questions or super chats or whatever, make sure you get them in there. By the way, if you're watching this later and you have a question, put it in the comments. I try to answer all the comments and stuff. So if you do have a question, you can always do that, or go to the Discord, the Ask Jim channel, which I think I didn't mention this time. Austin says, "Hey Jim, I hope you're well and not energy drink drunk. You like you were last week as well. Hopefully you don't think I'm asking questions about Doug Walker or Channel Awesome because I'm not." Okay, I got two questions. I'll let you go with this, Austin. One, I want a proper answer to Cornbread's dealer question. No Gendy. You got because I answered Gendy to be annoying. You got to say someone else in honor of Hoppers. What's another Cartoon Network creator that you think could helm a Pixar film? Try and think of someone you think could meld well within Pixar's general shtick and not just like, I like this person and want them to direct a movie. To be honest with you, man, I wish they'd let Pendleton Ward go off. But I actually think maybe J.G. Quintel, Craig McCracken, I think people said in there, but I agree with Craig McCracken. The Courage guy who had that whole NFT thing I didn't talk about this week. Actually, what's his name from Flapjack, because he did Angry Birds too. I could see that working. I forget his name. I'm sorry. There. Question 2. I want to give he wants me to give a personal compliment to Ryan Walterson, Cornbread, Zane Powers, and Sinram. It's got to be meaningful and something that they don't even know about themselves. Each one got to be different. Okay, I don't know about themselves. Ryan Walter. Okay, I'll say Ryan first. I've told Ryan many times he's a very great researcher and he knows his stuff. I have no clue why he doesn't have his own YouTube channel. I've been saying this for fucking forever. Please, Ryan Walterson, would kill it having a YouTube channel. I have no clue why he doesn't. I've told him this in person. He knows this. He's really good at what he does. There's a reason like myself and Saber and countless other people use him. He's very good at that. Cornbread, I love seeing every time I do an instant premiere. Always really loyal, but not in a way that like sometimes we don't agree on a movie, but he's very fair, awesome person, very cool. I always like seeing him in chat. Always has good points, very informed, fair guy. Zane Powers is, I'd say, the wild card. I never know what Zane Powers is going to say, but I sort of like it. Sometimes it's like, whoa, Zane Powers. But I think I like that kind of energy, so I like it. Austin always asks me these weird questions. No, Austin, I got to say, Austin's an awesome guy. He runs a really great Discord. Come on. Nico, cut it out. Is really good at managing a community and dealing with people. I think more than people realize. Really cool guy. I love talking to him. The few times I've gotten to, I think really tries to make things special and awesome. And I think I don't know. I think you're all generally awesome people. And Sinram, didn't forget, Um, Sinram I've known probably longer than anyone here. Most likely, I knew Sinram before Pizza Party. He's always been a really nice guy to me. I wish the last time I had to leave suddenly because of a family emergency thing, which is embarrassing, honestly. But Sinram did. I'm embarrassed. I know he doesn't feel that way. And also, I gotta say, like doing the timestamps helps me out so fucking much. Like you have no idea because like I would try to do them or I'd run out of time to do them and stuff. And like he's really helped me out. But he's also like a deep lover of cinema, a great YouTube. I wish he made more videos. He's a really great YouTuber, underrated in my opinion. A really great guy and really smart about movies and like really cares about art and like helps make movies and everything like that. Just an overall like cool person. I wish I could do, I don't have the time or money or anything, but I wish I could do some of the awesome stuff um, that he does. And I think he does a lot more for art and artists and stuff, I think, than people realize. And he's generally, I think, a cool guy. But I hope he gets to make more videos. I actually haven't checked what the last video he has, and I've been meaning to do that. But he generally like a really cool person. Has a lot of cool movie stories and just like a really cool guy. And yeah, and I'm glad to be friends with him and stuff like that. I just think awesome guy. Anyway, I hope I think I probably repeated myself, so I apologize if I did because it is kind of late. This should really be called asking Jim questions when he's really tired. Uh, that's really what this section should be called. Don't, Sarah, you don't need to call it that. If you do, I'll leave it in, but you don't need to. I haven't seen a Bible quote in a film since I forgot to. Man, I need to rewatch Nope. I think Nope was fun. I've been thinking about Nope, to be honest with you. All right. Black Saxon. Well, how do you feel about the 6-7 meme? I I used to do it, but my daughter just yells at me anytime I do it. She really hates it. So, um, although I think what Mr. Sunday Movie says, and I said to my daughter, I even heard her say it once, is we are lucky the Minecraft movie came out before 6-7 hit because it would have been in the Minecraft movie. And I was like, that's like the greatest Minecraft observation about that movie. And I'm like, Minecraft 2 will have confirmed 6-7 meme. We know it's gonna have a 6-7 meme. There's no way it doesn't. The 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 Loon Hunter. I'll just say that. How do you feel about losing the show close enough? I'm sad. I wish it was still around. I really liked that show. I thought I'd follow Gigi Quintel throughout my whole life, and I was like, first he had the park, and I had a job like that, and then he had a show about him being married with a kid, and I thought like, man, but now the streak ended. Austin, what Disney afternoon theme song should Ted have sung instead of the Gummy Bears? Man, DuckTales slaps or Tails. I don't remember the Tails songs. I don't know. Why don't Black Saxon and why don't comics have their own Oscars? I think those are the Eisners. I think they sort of do. I thought the Eisners were that. I don't know. Courtney, have you watched Mad God? And if so, what are your thoughts? I just watched last night. I haven't, and I need to. But I saw what was that Poker Face episode that's sort of like about that guy who made is it Phil Tippett or something? That was an interesting one. Thought have you ever watched any foreign TV shows? Jordan Sluffle. I watched shit. What was that show about Berlin in the 30s? I talked about it because he got the guy from it got cast as Brainiac. It was like Berlin in the 30s or something. That one I have watched that one. I guess I watch anime. So I watched Ranma. Does that count back in the day? I guess I watch British show if that counts. I'm just gonna say those two because those are the ones I can think of. Have you okay, sorry. Thoughts on Jesse Buckley's cat allegations? I'm not happy about that, but as long didn't she just ask them to be rehomed? I didn't look into it. As long as she didn't ask to be declawed, that is one thing I'm very against the declaw shit. I like that's like really horrible. Medela Butterfly. This is a question. Favorite Friday the 13th movie or kill? Final Chapter is like my favorite. I mean, the first one I also really like, but I think Final Chapter is my favorite. Kill. Whenever he grabbed that motherfucker in the sleeping bag and just threw him against stuff. Although I think one of the best things about Jason is he will just walk through a window. I think that is hilarious. I love that he's just like walking through. I don't give a shit about Windows. Like I think that's the most badass thing he's done. Did Cats forever ruin cinema? Has society peaked? Alexa, I remember people were saying that around the pandemic, and maybe. Ransand Film, have you listened to any recent Mars Volta? They are still my favorite band, and I have seen them live twice with my wife. I have not listened to any recent Mars Volta, to be honest with you. But I actually listened to the second one because I have a lot of nostalgia for that. Oh, I'm happy to give you company, Rocket Duck, as well as everyone else here, I'm assuming. What, uh, Embla T or Mazel Torres, who should do Scream 8, 9, sorry, who should do Scream 8 now that the previous director won't return? I would like the original director who did Happy Death Day. I don't know who will do it now, but I also like I don't know what you're gonna I don't know. The Scream movies, it's like to me, like just make a stab movie. Nico, what are you doing? Make a stab movie. That's a George Tunes caught up on Primal. I am not, but I'm working my way through because I know it ends on Sunday, and I would like to have a review of season 3. But I like what I've seen, and I am working on like it's what I'm watching during my lunch break and stuff. So I am working on. Oh, Thorman von Orp. Okay, yeah, I think Thurman von Orp, Thorpe von Orman. I said it the wrong way. I think he actually gets underrated because he doesn't really do a lot of stuff. I think he's underrated as a oh I guess Alex Hirsch, but he is Disney and not Cartoon Network. What's going on with that guy? I know people have asked that a lot recently. Where Jesus? Cut over Primal. Oh, sorry. The West End. In your opinion, is it possible to acknowledge a piece of media as propaganda and still enjoy it at the same time? Yes, absolutely. I like Top Gun Maverick. It's 100% propaganda, but you can still enjoy it. I think like people have a hard time watching media and also going like, I mean, this sucks, but I like, I need to relax or something, and like acknowledge all the problems with it. As long as you're aware of it. If you're not aware of it and you're just letting it change your mind and stuff, that's a different issue. But if you are aware of it, there's nothing wrong with that. I think people get weird about that shit. So. Question: you think this Timothy Chalamet controversy is so contrived that they just want to relive the Emilia Perez actress controversy? This is from MBLT. No, I think every Oscar year they try to dig up stuff. I think the Marty Supreme, whomever was behind the original, Josh Safdie thing coming out, I think that is your typical Oscar. I mean, Weinstein sort of created that, to be honest with you. Sinram, no question, just thanks for saying such nice things. Hey, you're a cool dude, Sinram, for real. My friend wants to know if you've seen Charmed. Not really. I know people in my dorm would watch it, like the real dirt. It's like that in Stargate, and I don't really have any like issues with either. But I was like, it was till this is how little I watched it. It wasn't until late in the run I went, oh, the theme songs. That's the Smiths. How soon is now? Oh, okay. I like had no fucking clue. I had no fucking clue. I'll say that. Ooh, a new Cinerim video. I'm excited for that. Someone post that in the Discord when it comes out. MBLT, I'm still binging every Wuthering Heights adaptation. And then the Melania came out on Prime. Should I watch it? I'm feeling a little. I saw it was there, but also getting like that whole saying it was the number one movie and stuff. Although it was like, but it just came out, so wouldn't it? The thing I thought about that because people were like, "Oh, they inflated it." But if you put a movie that came out a month ago on a streaming service, it's obviously going to do really well. So, like, just by default, wouldn't it get like in the number one thing? But then also, streaming charts are inherently like fraudulent, so it's like you can't really tell, can you? But like, if I put like Mercy or Send Help on, if I put Send Help on Netflix, or any streaming service, its numbers would be crazy because it's just in theaters. So it's like uh, I'll say I can sort of see it, but I think they probably made it up, to be honest with you. But I can sort of see it. I do. I think. Can I just say this, Cornbread? I know this isn't a question. But you said I blame the Rise of Skywalker and Cats 1-2 Punch. Why 2020s are the way they are. I think Rise of Skywalker deserves way more credit for ruining Star Wars. Everyone says Last Jedi and all this stuff. No. Rise of Skywalker, that's the fans' penance. They needed a Rise of Skywalker, and they've Star Wars has left theaters since then. Rise of Skywalker is legit a horrible movie. I don't know why people. Anyway, Embla T. Hoppers is so good, and then found out Pixar's next movie is Toy Story 5, and now I'm sad. Yeah, I know. Have you seen Jackie Brown? Yes, of course. I love Jackie Brown. I actually have seen Coffee and Foxy Brown. I'm more of a Coffee person than Foxy Brown. And I learned that like more people have, because it was in the dorms and I had to walk through a bunch of people and I rented it and it would just be like the case. I got more reactions to when I rented Coffee from older security guards than when I rented Foxy Brown. I think Coffee is maybe more loved than Foxy Brown, but I haven't seen either in like 20 years. But I remember liking Coffee a lot actually. Isn't that the one where she has razor blades in her afro? I thought that was cool. I was like, that's cool. Um, Jordan Slofflo, what movie should Ethan Hawke have won an Oscar for? I think he was actually pretty good in Boyhood. Um, part of me wants to say Valerian. Um, Also, Predestination. Is it Predestination? I think he's like a supporting actor guy. I wouldn't mind if he won. Um, to be honest, but he's a cool guy. You know, I sort of like him. Will you be reviewing Hoppers? Yes. I just want to see it with my kids, and we're not going to see it till Friday. Ambla T, did you change your mind on Onward? I forgot what I said, but I think yeah, it's mainly like the end scene is really powerful, but the rest I don't know. What is the greatest Oscar show fumble will? What is the greatest Oscar show fumble will happen this time? I think somebody will do something. Probably mispronounce a name most likely. I hope it's not too bad. Do you think Arrival is underrated or under discussed film? I don't know. Ask Austin. No, I think it's probably appropriately asked, but I think it's like that ending was intense and like Trump had just won. It's like I do like that movie, but at a certain point I'm like, I don't want to go back into that, even though that's our life. MLT, what happened to Patty Jenkins? She was supposed to do the Rogue One Squadron and Cleopatra. I think Wonder Woman 1984 kind of killed her momentum. I don't know what she needs to do an original kind of thing. But the problem is like when you get someone who's like kind of, I think she became sort of a TV director. She needs to start her own kind of project like she did with Monster. I think she could do it. I think she still has it in her, but I don't know what she's working on now. But yeah, it is. I think a Rogue Squadron movie from her could have worked, but I don't know what happened. I don't know the script though. So after Wonder Woman 1984, you kind of go, oh, you know. I didn't. I forgot to put Disclosure Day on there. I did watch True. I was telling you Disclosure Day trailer. Have you talked about it? And I missed it. No, I didn't. I like the trailer. I'm interested. Like I said, I think Close Encounters is the post Nixon one. This is the post Epstein list one. It still looks really interesting. I am really curious about it. I don't think it's a good movie for summer, but I'll still. I mean Spielberg, you know. Wow, Cornbread got angry. Jordan Salafalo, what do you think about people wanting more authenticity in media? Can we talk about authenticity in media? I think people want that. The idea of that is cooler than the actuality of it. Oh man, it's late. Okay, let's do the MLT is the last one. Oscars tends to forget putting character actors in memorial like Tony Todd and Powers Booth. Hope they won't do the same with Udo Kier since his swan song is nominated for Best Picture. I hope so. I'd assume they would if they did. I don't know what the Oscars thing is with that. I honestly think like that's why like I know a lot of people on their movie shows don't do like I didn't do it anymore tonight. Don't do them because it's hard to get everyone to do the right thing. But I just think like they should do a better job if they're going to continue to do it and not forget. And also like the thing with Tony Todd though is he was in the advertising to one of the biggest movies of the year, which is Final Destination Bloodlines, and got a selected scene to it, and maybe got a better send off than the Oscars would have ever given him. I think sometimes the Oscars are off with how the movie business actually is, and I think in that case they very much are. Anyway, um, do you know they made Valerian Funko Pops like? Oh, really? Okay, I'll look at the Valerian ones. Anyway, sorry, we went really long, which is not surprising. I'm sorry to if Sidram and everyone doing the time sense stuff. I need to go. I need to do some dishes, do some things. But I want to thank you all for being here. I believe it will be an Oscar reaction stream. I believe it will be Monday night. I don't know what time. Please check your my social media, I guess, to find out more. And I'm fairly certain I'll have a Thursday show as well, but it's kind of hard to do that with all the Oscar stuff. So we'll see if there's enough news to do that, or if it'll be a different day. So just like, but there's a lot going on though, so I think it would have to be Thursday. So maybe it'll be different. We'll see. But anyway, thank you all for being here. Thank you for watching the videos lately. I really appreciate all of you. Let's do a shout out to the super chats. And there's a lot. Come on, let me see the super chat. All right, let's do a thank you to Bloxy Oxford, William Ellman, Austin, William Ellman, Dellar Butterfly, Super Kirby Dude, John Barton, William Ellman, John Barton, Ransan Film, William Ellman, Nathaniel Foga, or Bugsy Foga. Sorry, I hope you don't mind me saying your name like that. John Barton, William Ellman, William Ellman, Jortunes, and William Ellman. Thank you all very much for the super chats. Cheers to you all. Thank you to Cinerium for the timestamps as always. I think tomorrow will be Forevergreen, and then I would like to do another Oscar facts. We'll see. So if you see those two, I need to do some other stuff, and there will not be a video on Sunday. It's Oscars. That's what we're doing. Anyway, thank you all very much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support and everything like that. Have a good night, and I will see you all next time. All right, peace. Bye. Oh, sorry. Bye.